Hello, folks, and welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. This is Chris. Well, the man they love to hate. Yeah, that's right, folks. I'll tell you what. I've shared my views on Elon Musk, and I'll share them again here in this segment. But let's talk about it. Washington's coming for Elon Musk. The leftists are coming for Elon Musk. And why are they doing it? Well, I suspect that it's all about not the fact that people will be able to have free speech on Twitter, but more likely it's all about what Twitter's been doing in collusion with the federal government, how they've been undermining the Constitution and our First Amendment rights to free speech by colluding with Twitter and other tech titans to silence speech that they disagree with. Now, this sort of reprehensible, unconstitutional behavior deserves investigations and, I believe, impeachments for cabinet members and potentially for the President of the United States. But let's get to the headlines that are talking about Elon Musk. Hate speech increased on Twitter after Elon Musk takeover. Oh, really? Suckers. Twitter saw an immediate, visible, and measurable spike in hate speech after Elon Musk takeover, researchers find. Suckers. They fell for the trolling, and the Democrats were the biggest suckers here for this. These were intentional leftists targeting the channel to throw shade on Elon Musk. And I'll explain why that's so important. Congress will want to hear from Elon Musk and Twitter, whichever party wins the midterms. Why? Why aren't the media saying that Congress wants to hear from YouTube and Facebook? Only Twitter. No such scrutiny over Facebook or YouTube. As Elon Musk expands his reach, Washington worries. Why? There's no such scrutiny over the impact or the influence that Bill Gates and George Soros, billionaires, have over our foreign policy, our domestic policy, and free speech. The United States is exploring whether it has the authority to review Musk's Twitter deal. Why? The deal was for stock, common stock that was purchased by Elon Musk and a consortium of investors. The Securities and Exchange Commission had to review and approve this, as did the shareholders and the board of Twitter, all of whom agreed. So why is the U.S. now exploring whether it can review the deal? This is government overreach, and it's oppressive behavior. Now, the reason I mentioned this thing about hate speech, listen to this. On the 28th of October, Elon Musk tweeted the following. To be super clear, we have not yet made any changes to Twitter's content moderation policies. But both leftists and those on the right are suckers. The people on the right asserting they were no longer being shadow banned when no policies had changed, and those on the left abandoning the platform over the changes taking place. There have been no changes at Twitter. You people are suckers. People believe it, and these are people that have the right and ability to vote, but they don't have critical thinking capacity, just assuming things. And let's go back to this whole deal. When Elon Musk first announced he was going to buy Twitter, people were all excited. I'm like, you need to calm down. Elon Musk has not proven anything other than he can be quite erratic and do what he wants to do in his own interest. And while I have no issue with that, don't assume he's a free speech advocate just because he says he's going to buy Twitter. And oh, by the way, they're all excited about this months ago. I said, he hasn't bought Twitter. The shareholders have to approve the deal. The board has to approve the deal. And the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, must review it. Now, all of that has happened in the intervening 6 months and a lot of clenched fist in frustration. But now he has acquired Twitter. He sacked the board. Good move. And he's going to look at their content moderation plan going forward. But nothing's changed. Now, this is what they try to do, and this is where these suckers fall for it. Twitter saw an immediate, visible, and measurable spike in hate speech after Musk took over. Well, of course they did, because trolls and bots were sitting ready to pollute the stream, to throw shade on Elon Musk, to somehow imply that this centrist or left of center, occasionally right of center person, an immigrant, an African-American immigrant, is somehow a hate speech supporter. Researchers from Montclair State University found that the 12 hours immediately following Musk's ascension to ownership saw a much more hostile environment on Twitter. Well, yeah, that's true, but not because any policies changed at Twitter, but because of bots and because of trolls. The team looked at tweets filled with vulgar and hostile rhetoric aimed at people based on their race, religion, ethnicity, or orientation, such as the N-word, the K-word, and the F-word, to find out just how bad it got. And what they found was an immediate, visible, and measurable spike. In the week leading up to Musk acquisition, researchers said there were no more than 84 hostile tweets an hour on the platform. I find that hard to believe. But from midnight on October 28th, the day Musk took ownership, to noon the next day, there were 4,778 hate-filled tweets. Oh! Of the billion tweets that went out that day, there were 4,778. Oh my God! Run for the hills! That accounts for more than 398 tweets per hour, about 4.7 times higher than the 7-day average leading up to that day. The potential reach for those tweets was more than 3 million. How about you take a look at the number of hate speech tweets that were directed against Donald Trump in 2020? In a week before the election. Now, Yoel Roth, Twitter's head of safety and security, confirmed the increase in hate speech. But on Monday, he tweeted that the company had seen a surge in hateful conduct and removed more than 1,500 accounts. A graph that you see here shared the total impressions of tweets with at least one slur shows that the increase kicked off on Friday shortly after Musk's acquisition. It appeared to spike between Saturday and Sunday. Now, Roth described the surge as a short-term trolling campaign with many of the accounts they removed stemming from repeated bad actors. On Saturday, he said, as an example, that more than 50,000 tweets that used a particular slur were issued by just 300 accounts, most of which were inauthentic. These issues aren't new, and the people targeted by hateful conduct aren't numbers or data points. We're going to continue investing in policy and technology to make things better. Now, that's interesting, given that Yoel himself is a hate speech purveyor. Look at these confirmed blue checkmark tweets from this guy himself about Donald Trump. His hate speech is quite prevalent, but he is the guy overseeing hate speech? That's rich. That is rich, folks. That is absolutely rich to see this guy making those claims. Now, as Elon Musk expands his reach, Washington worries. Many lawmakers see the billionaire as too powerful and too increasingly reckless. Well, George Soros come to mind. Bill Gates come to mind. Musk, the richest man in the world, irritated some Pentagon officials by announcing that he would not keep paying for his private satellite service in Ukraine before later walking back the threat. So the fact that Elon Musk donated Starlink and the equipment to receive the data to people in Ukraine, and he didn't want to bear the cost anymore, the Pentagon is angry? Well, screw you. How about you cough up the money? How about Ukraine pay for this service? He's a business. Why should he subsidize Washington's proxy war in Ukraine? Now, I think it was very generous and magnanimous to do it, but target him because he doesn't want to give away stuff anymore, as if he's overly powerful. Why are you so dependent? If you like it so much, why doesn't the federal government give Inmarsat to the Ukrainians and pay the $9 an hour those clowns charge, or $9 a minute, $9 a minute to use Inmarsat? Go ahead. Do that, you clowns. Citing Musk's public ridicule of those who snub him. Well, yeah, people attack him. Why shouldn't he strike back? The billionaire has called President Biden a damp sock puppet. I think that's a rather mild description of the Manchurian cadaver. And said Senator Elizabeth Warren reminds him of my friend's angry mom. No, she reminds me of a fraud, Pocahontas. She's a race fraud. Now, many of the top 24 government officials interviewed for the Washington Post article would only speak about Musk on the condition of anonymity because they're cowards or they don't exist. Take your pick. But nearly all described him as being erratic and arrogant as he is brilliant. Well, yeah, okay, fine. That hurts your feelings. Get over it. Elon, the everywhere, is what one White House official called him. He believes he is such a gift to mankind that he doesn't need any guardrails, that he knows best. Well, given the juvenile, idiotic, incompetent conduct of the entire cabinet of this corrupt regime, I think I'll take Elon Musk over any of those fools. Mayorkas, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, give me a frickin' break. As Musk inserts himself into volatile geopolitical issues, many Washington policymakers worry from the sidelines as he bypasses them. Kind of like Jimmy Carter negotiating peace deals in Haiti, undermining the foreign policy of Bill Clinton. Does that bother you? No, not much to say from the leftist press about that. Short-term memories for these clowns too. Congress will want to hear from Elon Musk and Twitter, whichever party wins the midterms. Republicans suggest they'll dig into Twitter's alleged political bias if they win control of Congress, as Democrats raise concerns about Musk's ability to counter disinformation. Once again, why the scrutiny of just Twitter? No mention of Facebook. Yeah, selective abuse of state power against specific private individuals. Remember Elizabeth Warren with Pocahontas? Oh, people like Elon Musk don't pay their share of taxes. He paid $13 billion in personal income tax in 1 year, more than any individual in the history of this country. Bill Gates has never paid that kind of taxes. Give me a break. Nonsense. Well, the man they love to hate, Elon Musk. Listen, hopefully he'll make Twitter a safe place for people to actually have a conversation. But I won't hold my breath on that. We see Yoel is still there. Yoel is still there. And this is a guy who spewed hate speech against Donald Trump endlessly for a long time and got away with it. The people at Twitter are some of the biggest purveyors of disinformation and hate speech. And they've gotten away with it because they've owned this platform, and now they're being brought to task to a degree, but not entirely. Let's see what happens going forward instead of panicking on the right and panicking on the left, or making assertions on the right, making assertions on the left. Twitter is a going concern, and if Musk wants to charge $8 for a blue check mark, that's his prerogative. If people want to pay it, that's their choice. Stop whining about it and stop misleading people about Elon Musk. He's not a threat to anything except exposing the collusion, the corrupt collusion between the federal government and big tech. Violation of the First Amendment, and we will bring you to book when that evidence comes clear. When we see the evidence, we will demand action, just like it's time to prosecute Hunter Biden for the data found on his laptop. Long overdue. And impeach Alejandro Mayorkas and impeach Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for the dereliction of duty, their crimes, their high crimes, and their misdemeanors. All right, folks, thanks a lot. Elon Musk, the man they hate. I love it.